Yes, we're back again.
Yes, guys.
With the review of City, obviously beating Sevilla 4-0, actually. A pretty mad game. Second half was a little bit quieter than what the first half was. But it was a really, really, really good performance from City, and especially from the new signings.
It was an enjoyable game as well, man. But we've obviously got AKANJI on the thumbnail, AKANJI in the title. We're probably going to speak about him because he had a really, really good debut. Before we get into today's review, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Get us past 100 likes. Currently on 98. Need 2 people to drop a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. And a massive shout to the guys at BetVictor. They've got their own YouTube channel where they're always talking about heated debate topics and all that once a week. Go check it out. We'll play you a little clip from them in a little bit, but always a worthy watch. Got a couple of super chats from the last one that we missed. So we got Professional Idiots. Have you got that one?
Yeah, I've got that. Professional Idiot with the $50 donation. Obviously a big super chat from Professional Idiot. Just unfortunately was on our way out. Was dealing with Daddy Longlegs issues. It says, let's go, great start to the Champions League. Daddy Longlegs definitely trolling City extra. Facts. I think he's a United fan or something, you know what I mean, because he was roasting us hard at the end of there. But yeah, it was a great start to our Champions League campaign.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Legankau with a 4.49 wants to give us today's results. I'll go through them now. Chelsea got beat 1-0. AC Milan and Salzburg drew 1-1. In Group F, Celtic lost 3-0 at home to Real Madrid. And Shakhtar Donetsk went out 4-1 winners over Leipzig. Big result that for them. In Group G, which is our group, Borussia Dortmund beat Copenhagen 3-0 in the early kickoff. And City obviously got that 4-0 win then against Seville. And finally in Group H, Benfica 2-0 win. And Paris Saint-Germain did manage to hold on to a 2-1 lead over Juventus. But it's City we're focusing on here, guys. A 4-0 win against Sevilla. A really good game, a really good performance from City. And I want to get straight into Manuel Akanji. Debut, bought him obviously from Borussia Dortmund, 15 million quid. A lot of doubts when we signed him. So a lot of fans in the chat weren't really happy about the signing. Said he's not up to our level. Not a good signing, poor signing for City. However, guys, you know what I mean, even if you're one of them, you've got to admit that performance today against a decent Seville side, okay, not the best side in the world, but a decent side, didn't really put a foot wrong. Really good on the ball, really calm and composed when he was on the ball in possession. Defensively, didn't do anything wrong, did he? His big headers away when the ball was crossed in, a couple of decent tackles there as well. Looked confident in driving the ball out with the ball, more like a Stones type sort of positive drive. Really, really good debut performance for him. And the question that people will be asking, including ourselves as we discuss the upcoming game against Tottenham Hotspur, is will Akanji hold on to that spot for the Saturday game against Tottenham? Will it be Diaz and Akanji, or will he go back to Ake? It's a really, really big talking point, a big question that Pep's got to answer.
It's such a difficult one. He's give Pep a massive headache with that performance there, because a lot of times with centre backs, or like when you're getting a new defender in, they can have just like a standard game kind of thing. You don't really speak about them too much or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's all just very chill. But and then usually you kind of you try that off as decent game. You know what I mean? Defending wise, didn't have too much to do, but do you know what I mean? Decent game. Today, Akanji was like visibly mint. He was mint. He looked like he'd been playing in this side for ages. It wasn't just he was sat there, easy pass to the sides at all times. You know what I mean? Every time he gets the ball, always looking for an easy pass. Everything he did was mint. He actually just genuinely looked like he'd been playing the City side for years. And that's something that we need, especially because he got signed relatively late. He didn't have a pre-season. The fact that he's looking so comfortable in the side from the off will help us massively, because it means that we can. Obviously, this is in a little bit of a caveat, because we can rely on him going into games. Like say when our centre backs are injured, like Stone's injured for the weekend, we can choose to go with Akanji this weekend, and I don't have any issues with it right now. But the caveat of that is we don't know what he's going to be like tested when he's tested more defensively.
G in the chat says need the fastest pace against Spurs to track back those counter-attacks.
And he is rapid.
He is a fast player. So, look, it's a very, very interesting one. I'm sure we'll debate this all week as we lead up to that game against Spurs.
The first look, because we do 2 previews this season. We have like our preview on the day, and we have our first look where we usually like focus on like one thing, and I think that it might be a good idea to focus on Ake or AKANJI. Obviously we'll see what the situation is with the press conference and whether Stones is fit, but the Ake or AKANJI thing, I think that's going to be a really good see where we stand, because Diaz is definitely starting, but it's whether he rolls the dice.
Yeah, no, definitely. Guys, keep your comments coming in about AKANJI especially. I want to know what you guys thought about his debut today. I thought it was a real top performance. And of course, we will have player ratings coming at you tomorrow morning. And Goku with a 2 says, feeling sorry for Sterling and Cucurella. They joined the Mud Club. Yeah, I'm telling you, mate, it's not going to end well for Tuchel there. And Sir Alan with an 8 says, good win, boys, against a poor Seville side who looked like they just lost 5 top players. Let's not get carried away. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I think Seville are a decent side, but they have been heavily weakened in the transfer window, and that's 5 games without a win now for them at the beginning of the season, so something needs to change there, otherwise they're in real danger. But you can only beat what's in front of you, and I thought we did really well. I thought the first 10 minutes Seville came at us and they put us under a bit of pressure. City obviously hadn't worked their way into the game, but after we got through that, City came alive, you know what I mean? We turned up the pace a little bit. Rodri started getting on the ball and really started to control that midfield. I thought it was an excellent performance by Rodri again. But yeah, you know, it all stemmed from having a solid defence. You know, Seville came forward a few times, created half chances here and there. But Ruben Diaz, in fact, I want to come on to Ruben Diaz as well, because a lot of people in the chat there are saying AKANJI helped Diaz and made Diaz look good today as well. You know, what do we think about that? Do we think that AKANJI could be a good partner for Diaz? What does Diaz need in a centre-back partnership? You know what I mean? We've seen him with quite a lot of players now. We've seen him with Laporte, with Stones, with Ake as well. Now we've seen him with AKANJI. You know what I mean? What brings the best out of Diaz? Because if we can get Diaz playing at his top level, he's possibly the best centre-back in the world, Diaz, if we can get him playing at that top level. So what does Diaz need from his partner to be able to thrive at the top level? You know, does AKANJI give him that? You know what I mean? I think
the thing is, a lot of people said that Stones and Diaz was the best partnership. Do you know what I mean? Stones and Laporte, 2 best centre backs. Yeah. Whereas Diaz and Laporte, 2 best centre backs. But Stones was the best partnership for Diaz. Now, if AKANJI can kind of replicate what Stones and Diaz had in that season, where they were like a brick wall, then it's a massive steal for City. When you consider we only paid £15 million for this guy, it's mint. And obviously, maybe there says AKANJI's competent, and that's all Diaz needs next to him. He's a competent centre back. But at the end of the day, there's tougher tests to come for AKANJI. I mean, massively.
Could be this weekend.
And it could be this weekend.
It'll get much tougher than Harry Kane and Son.
Yeah, it'll be one of the toughest tests he's got. So if he does play, I think it's going to be interesting to see what we see this weekend. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he had a very good game today. But I think we'll learn a lot more if he does play on Saturday.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you know, guys, the AKANJI thing, it's gonna get a lot of people talking here. What does Pep Guardiola do at the weekend against Harry Kane and Son? You know what I mean? It's a massive decision. Obviously, keep your comments coming in, and we'll continue to read them out on AKANJI. But I thought he had a really good game. Want to talk about Phil Foden? I thought, you know, he's come under a little bit of a stick this season in the opening parts. Obviously, he only played 4 games, but you know what it's like. Or is it 4 games? I don't know. But you know what it's like. You know, the Premier League is relentless. And if you're not performing in what people consider the optimum ability, then you will get criticised. Now, I thought, my own opinion, I thought the criticism on Foden's been harsh. I thought he's actually played well this season. I thought that he's getting on the ball, making things happen, and just has been lucky. You know what I mean? He's got really good stats for the season so far, and if he made them 2 passes to Haaland in the 2 games where he had the shot, he would have had 2 more assists to his name, and he's getting into dangerous positions. But there have been some City fans that think his performances have been below par, which is fair. You know what I mean? It's all about opinions. He's been put out on the right hand side today, and I thought it was absolutely exceptional. I think for me, he was probably my man of the match. He gave Acuna, you know, all sorts of problems. I mean, Acuna, the fact that he made 5 or 6 fouls in the game, you know what I mean, that sort of tells you how bad a night he had, because he just couldn't get the ball off Foden, and it just resulted basically in bringing him down. Gets a goal and just looked really strong on there, playing with pace, playing with energy, playing direct, aggressive with the ball, i.e. his goal. And yeah, you know, if Phil Foden can, you know, and there's a question there, does Phil Foden now have to go out on that right-hand side? I thought Grealish, we'll maybe speak about Grealish in the play ratings tomorrow. I thought Grealish had a good game. If you want to play in both, then do you have to put Foden on the right wing? I thought Foden was excellent.
I thought Foden was mint. Foden was very, very good today, especially, as you say, he's been coming under a lot of criticism recently. And you don't want to see that of your own players anyway. But like we went through this in the preview, or it might have been before the game, whether we think it's justified or not. And I don't think it is justified. I don't think that is the case with Phil Foden's start to the season. I think people just looking at them 2 passes to Haaland. Personally, I think that's tainted Phil Foden's start to the season. From a City fan's perspective, I think that's why he's getting hate. But today, even if you was giving him hate recently, do you know what I mean, or anything like that, you know for a fact today he absolutely slammed it. He absolutely slammed it on that right-hand side, and there's a massive case for him to stay on that side, especially when you're playing Jack Grealish. So it's another option. It's another right-wing option. Do you know what I mean? We've put Bernardo's been there. Alvarez we've seen, like, do you know what I mean, can play that kind of side. Riyad Mahrez is there. Cole Palmer's there. I mean, there is options to just... but then now you got Phil Foden as well on that side, whereas usually we're primarily going with left wing Phil Foden. We don't have to do that, which is very, very good for City. Really, really good for City. So Foden, honestly, was absolutely mint. We've got some super chats here, bro. Professional Edit with a 5 says, it'd be great if Akanji and Gomez could pocket Kane and Son. Haaland versus Kane will be massive. Yeah, obviously Tottenham have strengthened heavily this window, so... Do you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting. There's going to be interesting battles all over the pitch, especially with Gomez, with Akanji. It's going to be difficult. But then obviously they've also got to deal with Erling Haaland. So do you know what I mean? It's going to be a clash. Hopefully we can break this Spurs curse. Kipax Calvin with a 3 says, what was Jack moaning about when he was subbed off? I'm not sure. He didn't look happy. Chris S says Jack's not injured. I don't know, innit? I don't know why he was fuming. I genuinely have no idea. Maybe he was just pissed off about coming off. Maybe he wanted to play the full 90. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he played.
I think it's important just to say for people that weren't watching it, he wasn't fuming. He was just a bit
he just weren't happy. He
looked
looked frustrated. Like Pep came over to him, like hugged him and that. Do you know what I mean? He was fine then. He just walked off and then he just kind of sat there and he didn't look happy. But then towards the end of the game, he chilled out a bit. I think he might have just been disappointed. I mean, maybe he felt like he didn't have a good game. And Obeyed with the 2 says, big love to City Extra. Time for me to go to bed. Yes, Obeyed. You know what I mean? I bet it's well late over there, isn't it? So
yeah,
a good night's sleep.
But we will speak more about Grealish tomorrow in the player ratings. Obviously, we want to keep some players' performances for that, so we can have something different to talk about tomorrow. But yeah, look, I want to talk about a little bit more about Phil Foden.
I think we should touch on Gomez as well, and that'd be good.
Yeah. Before we do, guys, I want to say massive shout out to BetVictor. They've got their own YouTube channel. I've got a clip here from their recent video today. Let's see what you think of this.
What's your opinion of Arteta at the moment? I know you obviously had a great start to the season, but is he the man who can lead you to this title challenge? Can he?
What,
is he tactically?
Arsenal aren't challenging for the title.
No.
Let's not.
No. Listen to me, right? You cannot spend the money that Arsenal spend.
If Arsenal are challenging for the title, we're challenging for the title. Yeah, if Arsenal win the league, I'll be fuming that we didn't.
You cannot let Arsenal fans off the hook here, right? They have to know.
Arsenal are challenging for the league.
They should be. The money they spent.
Don't be ridiculous, Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying that you can't allow their expectations to dip because they've lost one game.
He's putting a pressure on Arsenal because he knows deep down that Spurs cannot maintain what they're doing. You know what I mean? Spurs cannot maintain. Everybody's going on about Arsenal. Like, Spurs cannot maintain the way they're playing and continue to keep getting the points that they're getting. They're not playing well. They struggled against West Ham. Should have lost to West Ham. Played poorly against Chelsea, got the result because of VAR decisions. They cannot keep that sort of. They've got to change a little bit. Like Arsenal.
Do you know who that sounds like, Lee? That sounds like Arsenal up until yesterday.
Yes. Go check out BetVictor. They've got the full last fan standing, I should say, on their channel. The link is in the description. So go to that. When you go there, make sure you tell them that City Extra sent you in the comments. It does us a favour, and obviously they've sponsored this video. The whole thing of Arsenal, are they serious title challenges? I think Arsenal fans have been running away with it a bit. They've had a very, very, very good start. A very good start to the season. You know what I mean? A lot of people saying that they haven't been tested enough though, and they came against United at the weekend and ended up losing. So
I think they'll finish top 4, but the league's.
Do you think they're dead set top 4? That's nice.
I do. I think with Gabby Jesus and the players that they've got in behind them, I think they'll score a lot of goals. So yeah, I do. I do think.
I like that. I
think they'll do well. But yeah, guys, go check out their video, man. Links in the description. Helps put out the channel, man. Right, a bit more on Phil Foden. Yeah, you know what? I've seen a stat before, and someone put it on Twitter, man. I'd credit him, but I don't know. I didn't think I was going to mention it. That he's not taking on as many players as he did last season and the season before.
Someone was crying about this at the beginning of the stream.
But I don't think that means he's not playing well. You know what I mean? I still think for him, what it's about is being effective. You only have to look at Erling Haaland's numbers and the touches that he gets to understand that it's not all about take-ons. Granted, you have to take on a player from time to time, I accept, but it's about being in the right places at the right time. And look, Phil Foden's numbers at the beginning of the season are pretty decent so far. Like I said, he really should have had 2 other goals or assists. You know, he probably should have scored the goal / he could have passed it to Haaland. He got in a really good position against Aston Villa, which he should have done better with the shot when he just kicked the ball straight at Martinez. So, like I say, I can't back the whole Foden's not had a good start to the season. I do think he's had a good start to the season. You know what I mean? His numbers are good. I'm looking at it with my eyes away from the stats and going, I think he's playing well. But the question is, what was different tonight? Because this definitely was something different tonight. Was it just the fact that he's just on the right? Do we think that he's going to be better on the right hand side than he's on the left? And if so, why is that? You can't just say, yeah, he's better on the right. You've got to say, yeah, he's better on the right because of this. There has to be something. He terrorised Acuna all game. Got himself a goal. Is it because he's cutting in and he's on his stronger foot? I don't know. But I just thought his game tonight just was complete. Do you know what I mean? Not saying that his game in previous matches hasn't been complete. I just think tonight he just went up a level.
Yeah, no, he looked good, and maybe confidence is a part to play in that. I mean, a confident player can always look a better player.
Yeah, no, for sure, guys. Yanni says Foden plays better on the right. Yes, LB. Look at his goal. Yeah, I mean his goal was good. He looked confident. You know what I mean? He had loads of City players around him for his goal. He didn't have to shoot, but he did. NSB says yes, he has speed, and on the right he can beat defender 1v1. Yanni says also Seville weren't great.
That's true.
That is true, yeah, but it's definitely something to consider. It's definitely something to consider as to whether or not we should look at moving over Phil Foden to that right hand side. You know, I thought Grealish played well today. We'll speak about that more tomorrow.
The other thing is, then you have to play Grealish on the left. Don't you?
You would have to play Grealish on the left hand side.
You're light on that left hand side, but bro, if you're gonna permanently move Phil on the right hand side, Leroy Sané season on now.
Well, the thing is as well, obviously Palmer played left wing today when he come on, so maybe Pep, you know, I thought he was basically going to only play Cole Palmer on the right hand side, but maybe because obviously Mahrez isn't getting the minutes that Pep probably expected to play Mahrez in, he's having to play Cole Palmer on the left hand side. So it's all a bit of a mixed bag. We didn't really expect to see Phil Foden on the right that much, but we might see it more than we expected. And Cole Palmer's now playing on the left hand side as well a little bit more. Rods, by the way, sent a super chat and said they did pay him out for the bet, so that's good. He didn't lose his money in the end.
Oh, no way. Love that.
GGs, man. GGs.
Yes, Rods.
Right, let's speak about Gomez then. Obviously, his first start, his full City debut today, playing left back. There was one worrying moment in the first half where he got absolutely roasted from Navas, but other than that, he had a pretty solid game, both defensively and offensively. I thought he played well.
No, I thought he played well. He was getting on the ball a lot. I mean, he looked very, very confident going into the game. He was driving forward. He was popping the ball off left, front, and centre. He had a cross which he went into. Was it actually Haaland? It went into. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which should have scored. I think Gomez was mint. It looks promising. It looks. He's very attacking, I mean, which we know, and he's shown, like we were seeing, his technical ability on the ball and stuff. But it is kind of like having a left-footed Cancelo. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of them situations. I think what everyone's waiting for is to see him tested defensively. Now, with Kyle Walker injured, you'd assume that that's going to come this weekend. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gomez, mate, you got to be on your A game.
Unless he goes Ake at left back.
Unless Ake goes left back, yeah, you're right. But this weekend's a big test.
Yeah,
this weekend's a big test for Gomez if he does start.
Professionally with a $5 donation says, I think people were harsh on Phil because he looked average and was rarely making an impact. The 2 missed passes were the nail in the coffin. Well, interestingly, I've been saying Phil Foden has been alright, but Pep Guardiola has had something different to say. This is Pep Guardiola after the game. It says Phil Foden has an incredible thing lately, isn't playing too good, but always does the job and runs and works for the team. He is dynamic and his work ethic. You can play bad, but every single game Phil does it. That's why he deserves to play. So
we're chatting shit then, you know what I mean? Trusting Pep.
Pep.
He's been playing ours and then we got nothing to say.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That I didn't think he'd come out and say something like that. But
maybe he's saying that because he knows that Phil Foden has more levels to go to.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean, he knows the level that Foden can get to a higher level of where he's at now. Like maybe Pep should be saying like, oh, yeah, he's had a decent start, but you know what I mean, not playing good right now. He can get better. Mm-hmm. And Foden the start and goes, yeah, I'll keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's pretty, you know, I thought it was really good tonight. Hopefully he can kick on from here now. Obviously we've got a huge game coming up at the weekend, and Phil Foden, the way that he can play, the way he can create goals and score goals is going to be a crucial part of that. If you look at the games last season, obviously we didn't score a goal at their place in the first game, scored 2 and obviously conceded 3. You know, if it's going to be a bit of a basketball game, we don't know what type of game we're going to get. Is it just going to be they're going to sit there and try and do us on the break? Are they going to open up a little bit and try and actually play football against us for once? We don't actually know what they're going to do. But whatever they do, Phil Foden will be an important part of the puzzle to try and open them up, you know what I mean? Because you've seen today, he caused them all sorts of problems, Phil Foden, and got a great goal as well. So, look, I thought it was performance... Phil Foden was really good. Gomez as well, really good as well. It's looking decent. Obviously, City getting off to a nice 4-0 win in match day 1. That is decent.
I think it's always good to get games. I said this before in the preview and that. It's good to get games like this in between when you've had a not so great result the weekend before. Do you know what I mean? Like Villa weren't a great result, but then you look at us today and we looked really good. Do you know what I mean? You could say, oh yes, we were arse and that, but we look good. So going into Tottenham, it gives you a little bit more like confidence going into the Spurs game. Like if it was just Villa then straight to Spurs, you'd be a bit more worried. Yeah, you know what I mean, we are going to Spurs. We were 4-0 win on the back of that. Haaland getting some more goals and stuff. But we don't even have long to wait. What is it? 3 days?
3 days, and then I'll play on Saturday. But Tottenham are playing tomorrow against Marseille at home. Ooh. Now, I don't know what they're going to do there. I don't know whether or not they're going to... Is he going to play a full team there? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going to go on there? Obviously, Champions League, match day 1, they want to get off to a good start, just like City have today. But they've got 1 day less rest than us. Granted, we're away and they're at home. You know what I mean? So it kind of balances it out if you look at it like that. But yeah, they're only going to have 2 days rest, where we've got that extra day. But how serious does he take it? You know, if you look at their group, you'd expect them to go through pretty easy with Marseille, Frankfurt, and Sporting Lisbon. I would expect Tottenham to go there quite easily. So it'd just be interesting to see what team Conte puts out tomorrow. Does he go strong, or does he rest a few players? Don't know. With only 2 days rest until they play the champions, like. You could understand if he did.
Thing is, they have got quite. Do you know what I mean, they've got some good squad depth. Spurs. Do you know
they have improved the depth.
Some, I mean, they've got. Do you know what I mean, up front. I mean, they've got like is it what's it called? Pulisic? No, Perisic. Kulusevski. I mean, they've got Kane, Richarlison.
Yeah. They definitely improved the squad depth.
They can rotate and still have a decent side.
It just depends on, does he want to rotate in this game, or does he want to start off and get that 3 points? It'll be interesting. We'll find out tomorrow. Professional, it was 2. Bye, lads. Getting back to work. All right, bro.
Yeah, it's pressure, dude. Appreciate super chats today.
I don't know. Do you enjoy your work? I mean, I hope you do. Thanks a lot for the donuts tonight, man. But yeah, look, a really, really good performance that from City. We'll obviously be back tomorrow morning with the player ratings.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. UK time, player ratings. That's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully see some more positive ratings than we did against Villa, understandably so. Then we'll have a 2 p.m. stream, and then I'm going to pick tomorrow night. We're going to do a members only stream tomorrow. Watch one of the Champions League games. So if you do want to get involved in that, become an Xtra Club member. The link is in the description, or sometimes there's a join button below me. I'll pick the game and then see you guys there. But yeah, look, great performance from City tonight. 4-0 win, top of the group. Love it.
Yeah. All right. See you in a bit.
See you later, guys.